Back to our conversation with Multnomah County Commissioner Sharon Meieran. Yesterday, she explained that there's really no overall plan for addressing homelessness in the county and no accountability either. If you missed that, you can catch the interview on our streaming app on Roku and Amazon Fire called KGW Plus, or watch anytime on the KGW YouTube channel. Just scroll down to the story. And if the Joint Office of Homeless Services gets the money they want in this next budget cycle, we will have spent in Multnomah County $1 billion on homelessness in 7 years. In Multnomah County alone, $1 billion. That's a lot of money. Tonight we'll cover one more topic with Meieran: technology. The commissioner is a medical doctor and also has a law degree and an economics degree. She's frustrated by the lack of coordination and the lack of data to address the homeless issue. Without that, she says, the county is tracking numbers that are sometimes meaningless.
One of the things that I find fascinating, and one of the things I want to call out what Chair Vega Peterson is doing that the previous chair just did not do, is we have a data systems task force that is trying to break through and say, what do we need? What are we measuring? What does it mean? How is this meaningful to real people instead of something HUD wants to see that means nothing in the real world? So I'm on that data systems task force, and so I want to commend that. I also have to say I find things that are concerning. So one of the biggest things that I've seen touted by the county has been the number of housing placements we have. That's the big thing on the supportive housing services measure and a lot of what we do. So, okay, we get people placed. That's what all the nonprofits are trying to do. And then we have good follow-up information, or some follow-up information, on 28% of those people who are placed.
That's all?
That's my understanding. Again, welcome anyone to come forward and prove me wrong. I would love that. But this is what I understand, and that is shocking to me.
Yeah, I think that'd be shocking to a lot of people.
Yeah.
All that money's going out, no idea whether it made a difference.
Yeah. And if the goal for our nonprofits, if we say what we're kind of grading you on, is how many people you place. You have to place people in housing, then that becomes the focus rather than, okay, what services do they need? Are they able to be placed right now in a place we reasonably have? And so what's actually happening, I've heard this from some nonprofit providers, is people get placed and they're not ready to be placed, or they don't have the services they need because they're next on the list. And you just have to go down this list. And I've heard of apartments being burned, or plumbing that's been clogged up that ruins plumbing for an entire building. Or these are anecdotes that I am quite certain have happened. They end up costing money to fix. They end up making our insurance costs higher. And this is a real concern right now, the acuity and what's happening there.
Wow. Because the metric is how many did you place?
How many did you place?
So people are placed as quickly as possible.
Yeah. And then they may fall out of housing the next day, but it's well, they were placed.
Yeah.
So.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. A little grumbling there. Again, if you missed yesterday's segment with Meieran, go back and check it out. It was really fascinating. It's rare to hear this level of detail from an insider. It's quite illuminating and infuriating at the same time. On that note, we asked for your thoughts about my sit down with the commissioner and the revelations that some suspected but really had not heard directly from a county or city leader until now. Barb wrote to us to say last night the story was mind-blowing. Nearly $1 billion invested in addressing people experiencing homelessness in Portland and Multnomah County, and the results are waiting for a response that will have an equal measure of sadness, frustration, and cynicism. A broken system and no accountability. Egregious, negligent, irresponsible. We also got quite a voicemail from a viewer named Gwyn, who was recently homeless herself.
I've been through the homeless system, and I've seen it in action with the service providers, with the JOHS, with all of them, with the health care. everything. And I've recently been housed, and there needs to be oversight. There is no oversight. Each service provider is working pretty much independently, getting funding. There's so much funding that's going to waste. And it took me 8 months in shelter, 6 months in congregated, 2 months in a motel shelter to get housed.
There it is from the front lines. Thanks for calling in, Gwen. Some of you offered solutions of your own. A former city councilor in Salem says there needs to be a homeless czar to help bridge the gap between the agencies. That czar can coordinate all of the different ecosystems that Commissioner Meieran discussed yesterday. By the way, we want to end this segment with a nice message we got from Victoria, who is appreciative of the work that we do here on The Story.
Mr. Doris, thank you so very much. Your reporting is honest and enlightening, and we need that so desperately here in Multnomah County. I am a resident of Multnomah County, and I can't tell you how important this is. We have information now so that we can go to the county meetings, and we can speak to you and leave messages. Sometimes I think I'm just one person, but I'll be there. I'm terrified at what's happening to our beautiful country and our town. To watch you and your truthful reporting is so refreshing and very hopeful.
Thank you, Victoria. There's a big team of us here at KGW. We appreciate you and everyone watching. Thanks very much for your message. If you have any thoughts about our show or what Commissioner Meieran had to say in today's segment, you know the drill. Email us. The address is thestory@kgw.com or call and leave a voicemail, 503-226-5090.